Yeah, well, the South African Cultural Center in New York was launched on the 23rd of September 2021 by our Minister, Dr. Naledi Pandor. And the South African Cultural Center in New York is the first ever South African Cultural Center in the world. So not only is it South Africa's first ever cultural center in the world, it has a mandate throughout the United States, throughout the 50 states in the US. And its mission, its vision, its purpose is to promote South African arts, culture, literature, history, heritage. And it seeks to profile South Africa, to present South Africa in a different light, to tell the South African story, to project South Africa as a force within the arts and culture space. It seeks to create opportunities for artists, not only in South Africa, but here in the US, in the diaspora, and other artists that need to get exposure in the form of getting to exhibit their artwork, their artistic brilliance, and showcase their abilities. So it's a cultural center that also fosters and promotes cross-cultural understanding. It seeks to ensure that South Africa's artists, South African poets, those in literature, those who are in music, journalists, who are in sports, those who care about South African history and heritage receive a platform to showcase what South Africa is about, what South Africa has achieved, to tell the South African story, and to project South Africa in a different light, and to put South Africa on the world map. So it is a very important cultural center in that it aims to be the biggest promoter of South African arts, culture, history, heritage outside South Africa's boundaries. So the South African Cultural Center has an important task ahead of it. It has an important responsibility to put South Africa on the world map, to put South Africans on the world map, to put artists in the diaspora, be they South African and non-South African, provide them the platform, allow for cross-cultural exchanges and understanding. And the center will most likely be fully incorporated or registered in terms of the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service Code of the US, and as a Section 501c3 as a non-profit organization. And then the aim is to ensure that it's also independent as required, self-financing, independent, and ultimately operate on its own like other world-class cultural centers like the Japan Society and other cultural centers from many other countries that operate independently and headed by a board of directors, a CEO or executive director and team. So we envisage ensuring that the South African arts and South African Cultural Center would be world class, will be in a league of its own in a way, or in the same league as well established ones like your Japan Society, the Korea Society, or the Korean Cultural Center, the Goethe Institute. So we aim to ensure that it's in the league of such centers, including the Chinese Cultural Center, and many other cultural centers in the world. And the 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 aim overall of or some of the means within which the cultural center will operate would be through exhibitions. And by way of giving background, last year in September when we launched the center, we had an inaugural exhibition by Professor Emeritus Zakes Mda, who availed up to 35 of his pieces, the paintings that he had put together. The inaugural exhibition was titled Washboards and Mirrors, and it was paying tribute to both South Africa and the United States. And the current exhibition that we have that's been on since March has been the late Archbishop Tutu exhibition, and an exhibition on the life and times of the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu, an exhibition in the main titled Archbishop Desmond Mpilo Tutu, Then and Now, an exhibition, a photographic exhibition by two South African photojournalists, Sumeya Hisham, who covered the now, and Eric Miller, who covered the then. So it's a very interesting exhibition that is underway, and we are hopeful that you will enjoy this exhibition. It's our very second exhibition that we are hosting here at the South African Cultural Center in New York, and it gives context. It tells the South African story in terms of where we are, or rather where we were during the difficult times when the late Archbishop was among the front runners, or those at the forefront in terms of defying apartheid prior to 1994, and seeking to achieve liberation for our people, the human rights, to give everyone equal rights under the law, the right to vote, and so on. And the exhibition speaks to what transpired during those times when Mandela and many other leaders were in prison, and our people were under the yoke of exclusion and racism. And the exhibition also speaks to a post-1994 South Africa, whereby Mandela is featured as a free man and voting for the first time, including the late Archbishop Tutu getting to vote for the first time, and in charge of congregations as the Archbishop in Cape Town, and leading and being on the side of the people and continuing to be the voice of the voiceless. And the exhibition even includes, among other notable pictures, it's, as I stated, an image with him with the late Nelson Mandela, and an image with him with ordinary people, with people in the communities doing community service, and so on. And the center will, in essence, be aiming to tell the South African story, not only through the eyes of pure artists like Professor Mda, who presented his paintings to us last year before they went to South Africa. Someone that we didn't know was a painter. He had these marvelous paintings that he loaned the center before they went to South Africa. So that was, in one's view, from a pure artistic point of view, telling the South African story through the washboards and mirrors exhibition, and followed by this Archbishop Desmond Mpilo Tutu exhibition then and now. There'll be other exhibitions that will follow that feature South African youth, that feature South African landscape that feature the beautiful people of New York. There'll actually be an interesting one featuring the people of New York during this month of May and during this Africa month and Africa Day activities or festivities around 25th of May. So in essence, this virtual exhibition then speaks to primarily the life and times of the late Archbishop Mpilo Tutu, then and now, and we hope you'll enjoy this exhibition that is held here at the South African Consulate General in New York within the ambit of the newly established South African Cultural Center. We hope you'll enjoy this marvelous exhibition. Thank you.